Katipuno, lipad na Blue Eagle, galing hiding at tigil, blue and white, one big fight. Radyo, Katipunan, Radyo, Katipunan,
To open our eyes and ears, that we may see the face of Christ and hear His voice in our midst. For 28 years, Jesuit Communications has been promoting the Catholic faith and serving the nation through both traditional and new media. Hear us tackle national issues in light of Christian values on Usapang Kapatid, Pasakalye, and Radio Veritas. Watch our uplifting reflections on Kapet Pandasal and The Word Exposed, as well as our acclaimed TV specials. Listen to the inspiring and soothing music of Jesuit Music Ministry's original artists as you read our spiritually enriching books. To learn more about JustCom's mission of evangelization and education, follow us on YouTube, Facebook, and our website, justcom.ph. To give a face to the faceless and a voice to the voiceless, that we may recognize Christ in them and hear His story in theirs.
This is Radio Katipunan 87.9 FM, the voice of the Blue Eagle.
Radyo Katipunan. News, insights, inspiration. Radyo Katipunan. Down from the hill and down to the world. Radyo Katipunan, the voice of the Blue Eagle.
3:00 prayer. You died, Jesus, but the source of life flowed out for souls, and the ocean of mercy opened up for the whole world. O fountain of life, immeasurable divine mercy, cover the whole world and empty yourself out upon us. O blood and water, which flowed out from the heart of Jesus as a fountain of mercy for us, I trust in you. Holy God, holy mighty one, holy immortal one, have mercy on us and the whole world. Holy God, holy mighty one, holy immortal one, have mercy on us and the whole world. Holy God, holy mighty one, holy immortal one, have mercy on us and the whole world. Amen. Jesus, King of mercy, we trust in you.
Radyo, 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 Katipunan, Radyo, Katipunan, Radyo, Katipunan, Radyo, 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 Katipunan, Radyo, 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 Katipunan. Voice of the Blue Eagle, kami di mapipigil sa pagbabalitang tumpak at tama. Buhay at tenista, sa loob sa labas ng eskwela, ating ibibida lahat ng buwela. Radyo, 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 Katipunan, Radyo, 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 Katipunan, Radyo, Radyo, Katipunan, Radyo, Katipunan. Kawal ni Ignacio, Katipunero, sugod, todo sa kayon, tulong at tulong. Lipat na Blue Eagle, galing giting nagigil. Blue and white, one big fight. Radyo, 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 Katipunan, Radyo, 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 Katipunan, Radyo, Katipunan, Radyo, Katipunan, Radyo, 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 Katipunan, Radyo, Katipunan.
Mga Katipuneros, it's time to level up! Your talk variety program showcasing the best in media and other fields. As we feature the most loved personalities and the best practices of what we truly refer to as Magis. Together with multi-awarded multimedia guru Mr. Noel Ferrer, let's all level up every Friday from 3 to 6 p.m. here on Radyo Katipunan 87.9 FM.
All good already, all the best. And when we say the best, we have here the best people featured in Radyo Katipunan. Well, he's called the Prince of Stand-Up. I don't know, the Fresh Prince of Stand-Up. I don't know how he feels about that. And he's coming right here in the Philippines on June 3. Here we have JR De Guzman. Hello, JR. Good afternoon. Magandang hapon.
Good afternoon. Is it magandang hapon?
Magandang hapon. Magandang hapon.
I need to practice.
Okay, kumusta ka na? Kumusta ka na, JR?
Mabuti.
Wow, very good, very good. Do you speak Filipino in your house? Do you speak Tagalog in your house?
No, I mean, my parents, I don't know why. I wish that they did more, but they spoke like curse words and stuff like that. I learned that stuff.
But then people were saying, pagdating sa bahay, when you go to the house, when it's the time you speak the local language, and when you're out of the house, it's when you speak English or whatever's required at work or at school, no? Did you have that at home?
Yeah, no, I mean, I don't know why, because they did speak Tagalog here and there, but they wouldn't really speak Tagalog to us. And I don't know why that was. And I moved to the US at like 1 year old.
Yeah.
So, but my brothers, they both moved back to the Philippines and now are fluent in Tagalog.
Really?
Because, one brother went to National University and I think the other went to FEU.
Okay. So I want to ask that. Why did you have to migrate at an early age?
It's a good question. So actually, my sister passed away when she was about 6 years old and I was 1 year old. Yeah, and my dad was in the military. My mom had just finished dental school.
Military here in the Philippines or military there in the States?
Yes, in the Philippines. So he was in the PMA and then he was a
bright guy, huh?
He's a smart guy. He's a smart guy. Yeah. That's, smart, good-looking dude. He had it all. And he's a Filipino Tom Cruise. But
what happened?
So she got dengue from a mosquito.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. And then after that, my parents really wanted to, we had family already living in California. And I think they got afraid, it's traumatizing. So when that happened, they wanted to, kind of go to a different setting and maybe like hope that we wouldn't ever have anything like that.
Oh, that's really sparing you from getting the disease, no? It's really tough. So the reason for the migration is actually protecting the children from getting the disease. That is noble. No? So and you always talk about your storage unit experience when you moved there. Did you have that? Did you have that consciousness already when you were there, when you transferred there, or it was just a story passed on to you?
So it was a story passed on. I don't remember it exactly, but so the exact details of it were we lived in first my aunt and uncle's garage. And then,
that happens to a lot of Filipinos there, no?
Yeah, exactly. So we had an aunt and uncle and they set up a little temporary area for us. And then we lived in a place that was kind of like an outdoor separate garage that they converted into like a 1-bedroom home that had the five of us in my family.
Grabe. So what was your insight about Filipino families earlier on, like migrating and surviving in the US?
It was interesting. I mean, we lived in LA for me at least, age 1 to about 4 or 5. And my mom was just a hustler. My grandma was really like the matriarch of the family.
What, taking on 3, 4 jobs? That's a Filipino there, no?
Yeah, so my grandma was kind of part of a community in LA of just this network of Filipinos. Like a lot of it is really you go to a Catholic church in your neighborhood and you talk with all the other.
Based, no, it's religious based. Yeah,
chismis and networking.
Yes. So they would hustle in how many work? So what were the jobs there?
So my mom, since she went to dental school, she worked at a few dental offices in LA. I don't remember what my dad did at that time, but
Uh-huh.
eventually he started working when my mom built her own dental office. He
Uh-huh.
worked for her. But my grandma, she kind of had like an underground daycare service at her house.
That's very good. And
Yeah.
just
I
always
don't know if
very
I can say that because it might be illegal.
no,
So
which is always a topic for your comedy, no, so your grandma. And it seems like there's an affinity to grandmothers and here in the Philippines, no? So how unique is that experience of having a grandmother like yours?
yeah, I don't know. I mean, she was really the grandma that I was closest to because my other grandma lived in Pangasinan.
Pangasinan.
And yeah, and she lived actually my grandma from Pangasinan took care of us for a
Uh-huh, uh-huh,
while in
uh-huh.
Sacramento when we moved to Sacramento, California. But my grandma in LA, she was, I don't even know how to describe her. She was very strong, very
I suppose
independent
so. Yeah.
because yeah, we didn't have my grandpa for a while. So she was just very strong, very fierce. She was a good dancer, funny. She was a blast. She was amazing.
I'm a teacher, so I see the details. The comedians would always work on really good details, and you have very
Mhm.
good details in your story. So that's very very important. So where did you get
Thanks, Noel.
that knack for comedy? From your mom, from your dad, from your grandma?
I would say everybody, like everybody in
Yeah.
my family is so funny. Like
Uh huh. Uh
my
huh.
my my dad is really goofy. My
Okay.
mom is more of like the dark humor,
Oh
you
yes.
know?
Yes. Yes.
And then my grandma is just a character. All my cousins are funny. Like every time we go to lunch or dinner, I feel like I'm crying, laughing. Like
But
I just
how
have like a
how did
really
they
funny family.
react to your comedy? How did they react to your wouldn't they parang be offended? No, or say, "Oy, don't say that." Well, was there anyone who was trying to edit your comedy in the family?
No,
None.
never. If
Good.
anything,
Good.
my mom was just harsh. She would let me know, like she would give me little notes, and I could tell that it meant that she didn't like it,
Uh huh. Uh
because I would do a show and she would be there and she would say something like, "Oh, you seem really tired," and
huh. And that's
I
the
could tell
polite
that,
way of saying you didn't perform well.
yeah, it's her way of saying you had a bad show. Yeah.
Uh-huh, uh-huh. But well, here in Level Up, we talk about the past and what we stand for, or things that we went through. And since this is university based, I want you to talk at length about your university life. How was your school life? What kind
Oh,
of student were you?
I was okay. So I had two versions of me in school. So
Okay.
the first 2 years, I was not a good student. I was a bad student,
I
but
don't
because
when you say bad student, you're what? Oh, you're not diligent,
uh,
you're not do
I
you cram?
I was not going to class.
Ah, you wow.
I know. So what happened was my first 2 years, I was, like, so okay, I'll go back even further, right?
Yes, yes,
So
yes, yes.
when I was 17, I
Uh-huh.
was a great student, all
Great student means what? Okay, so it is.
straight A's,
Favorite subjects were what?
I really liked English, biology,
Okay. Oh,
English and biology, probably my two
okay.
favorites.
Not
Yeah.
numbers, not numbers.
I like numbers, like with math and
Uh-huh.
everything, and like but I would say, and I think I was good at it. I was good at
Uh-huh.
math,
Uh-huh.
but when I started to learn about like poetry and
Uh-huh.
literature, I really enjoyed that in high school.
I
And
teach that here in the university and I love it.
it's just, I maybe I don't know. I mean, it's in our culture, I would say too, like just there's so much expression
Yeah, it's true.
is just and not to stereotype, that's why I go to culture. It's just I feel like our culture has been something that's been very expressive with
That's
singing,
true.
acting, dance. It's and I don't know if that sometimes when I feel most connected with Filipino culture, it's like feeling. And
Yes,
when I'm
yes,
touched
yes.
by a movie, even the word like gigil, I
Yes,
feel like
gigil.
with with
When
with
you like
babies,
you're like,
yes, yeah, baby gets so
yes,
excited.
that's
I
true.
think
That's
that
true.
they don't really have a word for that in the
That's true.
US.
Yes.
And I think it's because like when you think of language and culture, Filipino. It's a very Filipino giggle. Like I watch like commercials that get me excited or make me
Yes,
cry.
yes,
But
yes.
so when I discovered all the other stuff, I think I was doing math and science and everything more to please my family. And then when
Mm.
I discovered poetry, it was like, oh, I'm learning who I am
Yes,
and
yes.
learning how to connect with other people. And it was
It
just
humanizes you, no? And it like gives you, opens you to a lot of interpersonal things, no? Well, trying
Mhm.
to imagine well, of course we know that imagination is it's a bigger chunk of learning, or a really good vessel for creativity more than the mind, no? So it's really
Mhm.
imagination that fuels us. Well, it would be
Yes.
nice to put in those words, kikil, in your show here in Manila, because really those words that don't have counterparts there in the
Yes.
in the US, no?
Oh,
So
Noah, I am taking that to heart. I'm gonna write it down in my phone.
yes, yes,
I'm gonna
yes,
figure
yes.
out how to
Because
introduce
for
Giggle.
example, you have words like angst in the States. We don't have
Mhm.
that in the Philippines. Because
Yes.
you can't be angsty in the Philippines. You just face the problems and then yeah, meet them head on. When gigil, it's such an expression you feel, no? Parang it's something you you just feel. It's different,
Yes.
different for some other cultures. Anyway, so
Yes.
subjects, teachers, you remember.
Mm.
Well, did you go through that thing when people learn more from terror teachers, or it has shifted already to your teachers being friends or being more
Mm.
open to learning? Because I know our parents had that, no? They learn more from teachers who would like scold them, spank them, or
Mhm.
reprimand them publicly.
I don't know if I always responded more to uh like positive reinforcement.
Yes, yes,
And
yes, yes.
I don't know why, like, because I was bullied a little bit growing up,
Ah,
and
really?
so a little bit, like
Like how? Like
here and
how?
there.
Oh,
It's
do you talk about discrimination? Did you
uh
ever experience that there in the States?
I mean, it was something where it was like it was more so like I realized, being the only like Filipino kid in class or Asian kid in class,
Yes,
it was
yes,
you're just kind of different, and so it's kind of like smaller things that you don't really notice until you get older.
yes, yes,
And
yes.
so I think I had that maybe insecurity or defense up that created like being funny, to
And what was that effect on you? Well, it's nice, no? It's very Filipino to like, well, take things in jest, no?
yes.
Having a
Oh,
humor,
Phil,
the good side of it.
I think that's why, we're such good boxers because
Yes.
you hold it all in because you're joking.
Yeah, yeah.
But then when you have the chance to beat someone
Yeah,
up, it's like, this is
yeah,
for my
yeah.
childhood. This is for my country. It's like it all comes out.
So you put that again. You take note of that again. That would work here in the Philippines, yeah, because
Yeah.
we're we're uh, we're a people of boxers and all weightlifters, and those are the
Yeah.
we we uh,
Because
no, we celebrate here in the Philippines.
yeah, we need to really go. We should start going to therapy, but we let it out in our weightlifting.
Yes, yes, yes. And before, mental health is not an issue, no? Like
Hmm.
people will just go on with their lives, and then, well, it can't be that you'd stop and then think
Hmm.
about all the things you're going through. But you've graduated the psychology major. You should
Yes. Yeah.
understand that, no? So there's been a shift in those things, because if you're not too wealthy, I guess, or you're not too privileged, you don't have
Yeah.
the luxury of like um
Totally.
getting to a psychologist or psychiatrist. And yeah.
Yeah, I think about that all the time. How, there's some government funded services for our health. Like I can't even. I'm thinking of stuff like even just having like a park or a
Yes.
recreational center or other services that we pay taxes for. I wish that there was a way to make mental health care more affordable.
That's
You
true.
know,
That's true. That's
yeah,
true.
something. But I don't know what it is, so I'm not going to
and
run
and
for
less
office.
I
But
guess, of the medicine, or what people have to take as drugs, I guess, or as cure, but more the interpersonal relationship, I guess, and then the talking and well, I guess,
talk, yeah.
yeah, yeah, it's a talk therapy, I guess, no?
100%. Like there's something I was reading about, if we process our emotions in our right brain,
That's
and
true.
then we go to the logical part in the left brain, there's something that they showed where when you talk to somebody about it and they listen, that moves it moves into your left brain. So it's
That's
like showing that being able to process it with another person listening is like inhale and exhale. It's like,
that's
okay,
true. That's true.
I breathe in and now it's over here and now I'm released. But when we're alone, it just gets stuck. It just gets stuck there. So yeah.
So how are you able to practice your psychology in your work or or at home?
Yeah, I
Well, a
think the
lot of
only
us
way.
remember. A lot of us get take courses that eventually we don't understand. That soon later in
Mhm.
life, no, we're able to like apply those things. I graduated as a Fil-Am major, philosophy major, got into teaching, and now into broadcasting.
Wow.
So,
Wow.
how do you like practice yours?
Well, it's probably just like you, Noel, where I think you just do the next thing that excites you.
Yeah.
Because it sounds like you started in philosophy for a reason and
Yes.
then went into like poetry and English and then now broadcasting.
Yes.
I think similar for me with psychology, I was interested.
Why did you have to take it? Did anyone like force you? Weren't you forced to be a dentist too? Like everyone else in the family?
Yeah. Yes. So psychology, there's a number of reasons I took it. So
Yeah.
for my family, it looks, it's science.
It's
It's the
like a
closest.
pre-med course, no?
It's like a
Going to
pre-med course,
doctor.
but I don't have to do as as uh
Yes,
as
I
strict.
understand. I
All of
understand.
the tests were multiple choice. You just press A, B, C, D, E, and you're done.
Yes.
But I was also the most interested in psychology of any other, I think, medical looking class because, I wanted to understand like uh why people think the way that they think and feel the way that they feel. Yeah.
Did you have that giggle when you were taking psychology or late or that thought na parang I may be able to use that later on?
You know what
Was it a slow burn?
no, it was quick. Like the thing I was the most excited about in psychology was so I had a class where a elective where I taught music and theater
Oh, that's good. That's good.
to kids with autism.
That's good.
And so it was like I kind of liked seeing how creativity could
Very
help.
good. Very good.
Yeah. So that was something I really got excited about. And then eventually, going my own path into music and comedy kind of took over.
So what did school make you? What did it leave you with? What if people will ask you what is there to learn about school? Some people when they get into the entertainment business, and you know that in the Philippines, no, they'd rather go straight to like being artista or being an entertainer, a performer, and not go through school anymore. So what can you tell
Yes.
people about it?
Well, with school, it's interesting. The reason that I almost didn't graduate, but once I started doing music and comedy and I knew that that's what I wanted to do and I just wanted to be done with school, I actually studied harder because I wanted to make sure I graduated and so I could get done with school and start touring.
Yes.
But
And you never stop learning, no? I guess
No,
even now, no, if there's a school for comedy or for music, people like you, no, professionals would really like to get into, no?
yes, I feel like anytime I learn something new, it helps me creatively.
Yes.
Like you find new connections that you can put into your
Because
routine.
creation is dynamic, and that's very very important. I'd like to get your playlist, your Pinoy playlist. Of course, people know you're influenced by John Mayer and well a lot
Yeah.
more artists. But
Sure.
I want to ask your top 10 Filipino songs that you listen to and their appeal to you, their effect
Okay.
on you.
I'm not as familiar with like
I can supply
Philippine.
the titles. And you can. Well, what are the 10 songs that like you grew up with, or you take pains in listening to?
Yeah, I didn't grow up with a lot of like Tagalog music, but I remember Harana.
Harana by
Har-
Parokya ni Edgar.
Yes.
Yes.
And
It
then
started here in Ateneo. That was a Valentine's song. They used to celebrate the girls and like give them flowers during Valentine's Day. They're all in barong, and that is it. This is a whole thing.
Sing it, Noel.
So,
Sing it for me.
Uso pa ba ang harana?
Na-na-na.
Na, 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 na. Okay, that was from a university
I love it.
Valentine tradition. What else?
And then I don't know the songs necessarily, but
Kaya mo yan, kaya mo yan.
my mom loved Gary Valenciano.
Gary V, what of Gary V song?
I don't know the names of the songs, but
You would remember.
if you name a few, because so when he came to the US, we would go see him. We actually saw him. He played at like a community church, and we watched him. And then,
So was it a religious song or something like Sana Muli?
No, not religious song. Just I think it was just that was who the person that was booking him. It was like a big venue. Was the church over there?
Was it a fast song you wanted? Or you remember of Gary V?
I feel like it was a lot of ballads.
Ballads like Sana Maulit Muli?
Maybe. I'd have to look at it. Let me see. Let me see if I can find titles.
Okay. Game.
Because I was gonna say, and then there was also what's this? I forget the first name, but last name's Bautista.
Go. How it is?
Last name was Bautista.
Christian or Mark?
Yes, Christian Bautista. That was
Christian
another one.
Bautista who croons like the young Bublé or the young he's that type. So what song?
I don't know the song names. I just remember the artist because my mom would play it around the house.
Because there's something in the way you look at me.
Yes.
Na, 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 na. So Christian Bautista. What of Gary V's song? Was it a fast song?
I'm gonna look because I'll know it.
Sige,
if you
sige.
if you sing them, I'll know.
Sige, sana maulit muli. Na, na, na. No, probably not.
Oh, maybe a slow. Maybe it was a Christian song because I see. Oh, I Will Be Here.
I will be here. Yes, that's a good song. I tell people that's a song I want during my funeral.
Oh my gosh.
No,
yes.
but that's not a Filipino song.
I know it's in English.
Yeah,
because the ones that are in Tagalog, I didn't remember the words. So.
Okay. So aside from Gary V, Christian Bautista, and Parokya ni Edgar, other songs you would like hum to, or you call it LSS in the Philippines, the last song syndrome. Do you have that there?
We probably can't. This doesn't count as a song, but I guess the Ocho Ocho.
No, that's still a song in the Philippines. I don't know if that's a novelty. That's
Ocho
something
Ocho.
you can do here, and it's still very popular, and you can still do the dance step, and let the whole Soler do it with you.
I should lead like an era what's it called? Acrobatics class?
Yes. But learn the dance step, ha? Tayo, ocho, ocho. So you dance too. So it's as a performer, you do everything.
I'm trying to remember all these people because maybe I'll talk about that on the show. Gary V.
Okay.
Christian
Gary V. Christian Bautista. Bayani Agbayani is the one who did Ocho Ocho.
My dad keeps telling me to learn Manila by Hot Dog.
Okay.
Do you like that song?
You might run into copyright issues. There's that thing that they're big here in the Philippines to collect royalties afterwards.
No way. Am I gonna get sued?
Get
sued.
Oh no, not sued, but then they'd ask you to pay a lot of money for that. But I'm happy with your originals. When you do you do impromptu songs for some people? That's what picks up really here, no? Like get two people or a person in the audience and then dedicate a song and then do an impromptu song. That's so funny. But then you get to interview them from their backgrounds and then make a song.
I love that. That's one of my favorite things to do is to get to know the audience and improvise a song for them. Yeah.
Yes. Some other Filipino artists or Filipino acts that you like.
Yeah, well, I was gonna say, I mean, I grew up with who else did I grow up? I feel like there was a lot of like artistas and like actors and actresses that I knew growing up too from my parents.
Like who?
Oh man, Ann Curtis.
Ann Curtis really beautiful.
Yes. Still, and I feel like still going. Still has a great career.
Yes. She still has a noontime show, and she's like they are reinventing.
Yes, yeah.
She'll be starring in a major action film at her
And
age, and her having a child already. There's
yeah,
well, like they never stop learning, no, and Curtis. But
and
she
yeah, I
was able
respect
to
that.
pack the Araneta Coliseum twice with novel
Uh-huh.
songs too. She's not too much of a singer, but she's a major performer.
Yeah, because that's what I was thinking. Was I remember that she also sang on the variety shows. Sharon Cuneta was another one that my
Sharon
mom
that's really big.
loved.
Yeah.
Did Chris
I
Aquino
worked with
sing?
her. Huh?
Oh, you did. You did work with Sharon?
Yeah, I was the producer of her show in the ABS-CBN. And Chris
Wow.
Aquino, like, well, here in the Philippines, you get to be jack of all trades, and when you
Yes.
promote a movie, you like sing. No, but she didn't sing for a living. Sharon did.
Yeah, okay. Because
Okay.
I remember I would see everyone on like a variety show singing,
Yes.
dancing,
Yeah.
and then I found out later that they're actors, which I would love to see that in America, like
Uh-huh.
just all of a sudden some like Tom Holland is singing and dancing and
That's
stuff.
true.
So
When they promote a movie or something, anything, they go to the variety shows and either sing or dance, or like Manny Pacquiao had a single or had recorded
yeah.
songs, no? So he
I
even
remember the cover of his album was so
yes.
great. It was like him like looking into the distance like that. Yeah.
And what was that song? You would
I don't
remember.
remember the album. Let me see if I can find the album. It was like him with a guitar and boxing gloves over his
Yes,
shoulder.
yes, yes, yes. Can you see that on Spotify? Yeah, that
I'm
was
gonna look up Manny Pacquiao
Manny
song.
Pacquiao song.
Oh, he has so many.
No,
He
no,
has
no.
so many.
Sometimes when we touch.
Sometimes when we touch.
Yes. No, no, no. Yes, it sometimes when we touch.
That's yeah. When
Yeah.
we touch.
No TH, but that's no. So so other artists that you look up to here in the Philippines, that would be nice. Your affinity to like
Mm.
people you admire at least, or your family look up to.
Yeah, I mean, of course, Arnel
'Cause that would
Pineda.
endear you. That would endear you to the fans.
Yeah, I would say Arnel Pineda has such a cool story,
Yeah. Yes. Yes. Yes.
and Sharice Pampenko. Trying to think of other people that are there. I mean, I grew up with
Charisse is no longer Charisse, no? She's Jake
yes,
Cyrus now, no? So
that's right, that's right, that's right.
no, is the community here in there in the US inclusive enough to accept someone like Jake Cyrus, the
I
Charisse of before?
I think it depends what circles you run in. I mean, I
Uh-huh.
am, and the friends that I have being in
And you talk about that in your comedy, no? You're more inclusive in your comedy.
yeah, I try to, yeah, not be divisive with it. And
That's true. That's true.
so but I think like in the cities like LA, San Francisco, New York for the most part, but it's still a conversation in the
That's
US.
true.
People are
That's
still
true.
like learning, but I feel like in the Philippines, I mean, you can update me more on this. I feel like it's been progressive and inclusive for much longer,
Well,
especially with
yes, but
LGBTQ.
can I push it further? Could Charisse have been a bigger star had she stayed with being Charisse, or could he be bigger as Jake Cyrus there in the US? Because she was big as Charisse, no?
So I didn't follow that story as much.
Yeah.
What year was
And she was a kid. That was a novelty there. Now she was singing adult songs, made
yes.
songs as a kid.
I think right now that story it's almost
It's unique.
something
It's
that
unique,
it's
no?
unique and it's not told a lot.
That's
So a
true.
lot of
That's
people don't
true.
understand it, including myself. It would be a story that I would want to watch if it was a movie
That's
or
true. That's
something.
true.
Because you a lot of art where that stands out is a unique
That's
voice.
true.
And
That's
I
true.
think Jake, he would have a story to tell in the
Yeah,
US
yeah,
as well.
yeah. Well, the only thing is that it's so sticky when it goes to family relationships. Well, I wish her
Right.
story were more inspiring than talking about the falling apart of the family.
Mm,
So that's the thing, no? Well,
yeah.
are you conscious about that? To have a good story, to have an inspiring story to tell to people?
I would like to.
Yeah.
As a creative, I'm figuring out how to be more honest on stage, and
That's
always
true.
growing.
Honesty, yeah, yes.
And I think this hour that I'm working on an hour special. When I
Yes.
put that out, my goal is, as I put out a new hour and an hour
Ah,
after
very
that,
good.
is to go deeper and deeper into
And more
the.
purpose. No, when you get older, you talk about not only the funny things, and it should lead to something that would like empower people, or
Yeah, I hope
I
so.
guess more inspire them more, or look at themselves and challenge them to look at themselves and then do something great. No, so
Hmm.
it's really putting your passion, which is your comedy, productivity, which is your work, to something purposeful. No,
Yeah.
no, so when people ask what does JR stand for, yes, he's for laughs, but he has a certain purpose for his laugh, no?
Yeah.
It's really getting back into that core.
Definitely, definitely. Long term, if I envision creatively what my dream is, it's to do both. Because I also just love, like, Adam Sandler is just
Yes,
very
yes,
silly and all that, and I love
yes,
that.
yes,
And then I
yes,
also love, how, like, let's say, like Dave Chappelle or Hassan
yes,
Minaj
yes,
can talk about things that are more, current
yes.
and going on right now in society. I would like to be somewhere in the middle of that, where it's like
It's
I
very
don't take
good.
myself too seriously and all that stuff, but I can like talk about something that I care about on stage, and that's probably some of my
Very
favorite
good, very
comedy.
good. No, and then getting the best of those acts. No, but one thing I took notice was that you were part of a disaster relief operation in Bohol in 2013. That gives you purpose, no? Um,
I Yes, definitely.
so do you see yourself doing more of those or trying to like do something more for others? Well, because always know when people ask me, yeah, I want to get into show business. Two things that you want to ask: why are you getting into show business? And then people
Mm,
people just say, well, because I want to help the family. You can help the family a lot of other ways. So
mhm.
you look for excellence.
Yeah,
You look for passion,
yeah.
for productivity and all. But the second question is, why are you doing it for? For whom are you doing it for? And
Mm,
the answer should be beyond yourself.
yeah,
You're not only doing
definitely.
it for yourself. So it was nice. I took notice of that disaster relief operations. What did
Mm.
that make of you? Why did you have to do it?
Yeah, I mean, I was at a time of my life in California where, I mean, I think even I was looking for meaning,
Yes,
and
yes,
like finding
yes.
myself, and I was just like young and figuring stuff out. And my ex-girlfriend, so my girlfriend at the time, I mean, we both talked about it, and
Yeah.
she was someone who like also like was excited about that, and that excited me. And so, we went out there and decided to help with the disaster relief. I think because it's
But
easy to
was
get.
that a dole out? Was that like helping them with their needs? Or did you do comedy there?
No, so it was like we got in there, like, so the buildings that were
Yes,
destroyed,
ruined. Yes, yes.
yeah, we would go in, and it's called safing, where
Yes,
if
yes.
something wasn't salvageable, we would like tear it down and then make
Mhm.
sure that it was safe so that people aren't like walking and then the building falls or something like
Yes,
that.
yes.
And we would kind of interact with the people who were living there, or just whatever they needed as well. But then there were also really fun things where we had a basketball game with the local
Uh-huh,
community
uh-huh,
there,
uh-huh, uh-huh.
and oh man, they destroyed us.
But it's a good therapy, no? Parang
It
ako,
was good,
if
yeah.
people think of comedy as therapy too, I was part of a theater group that would go to the communities, like
Hmm.
to like educate them. Your comedy should be that, can be that, no? In a disaster torn area, you can like do
Yeah,
comedy and then like make them happy too, no? And that's a
yeah, I think
psychologist, that's one way of like processing what they're going through.
definitely. All the volunteers, there was a night where I have a song called the Christmas song, and it's a very
Yes,
dirty.
I heard that. I heard that the legendary Christmas song.
Yeah. It's a
I
little bastos, a little
Yeah,
bastos.
Okay lang yan. But then, well, did you play a joke about our Christmas? Not a joke, but that's a reality, no?
I played the Christmas song for people out there, and
Yeah.
we're all, everyone's drinking San Miguel, Red Horse,
Yeah.
and that was one of my favorite nights. It was so fun.
I love that song because, well, I'm not Noel for nothing, no? I'm December born. But then we start celebrating Christmas here in the Philippines, September. Whenever
Yeah.
this birthing comes there. No? So, and then Joe Marie Chan, of course, is the Christmas mascot. He's a Filipino Santa Claus. And he's all in the memes and the social media. So,
Wow.
yun. Parang it's nice, like, having another Christmas song probably and talking about the Philippine reality.
Yeah, that would be nice. That would be nice having a new one that's about the Philippine. I mean, because Christmas in the
You logged
Philippines.
in a bit.
Oh, is it hearing? Can you hear it now?
JR, come back.
Oh no, can you hear me? How about now? Let's see.
You're better. Yeah, okay, better.
Better
I can
now? Okay,
you now.
good.
Better now. So I was thinking, can you make another Christmas song?
Yeah, maybe something about in the Philippines, like
The longest Christmas.
the longest Christmas.
in the world. The longest.
It could be like, how they have on the 8th day of Christmas, and then you go eventually on the 96th day of Christmas.
Yeah.
And you just keep going and going.
Or have a Christmas countdown starting 365 days. Because that's a whole idea, di ba? Sana araw-araw ay magiging Pasko lagi. They say na araw-araw ay magiging Pasko lagi. Well, the whole Christmas thing is parang celebrating Christmas every day. Because that's a very Filipino thing. It's Christmas every day, no? Parang when people like serve you food, it's all a feast.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when people are generous, they're really generous. If they want, then that's a good side of the Filipino. So you represent that, and you should represent that. Didn't you ever think of like entering the entertainment industry here in the Philippines?
Yeah, I mean, there were times, especially so I actually did some stand-up in the Philippines after the whole disaster relief project. And I did some stand-up while I was there, but I didn't do it for that long. I did it for maybe like a few weeks, and then I went to Malaysia.
It isn't much. Well, it isn't as big as the comedy bars here in the Philippines. There are comedy bars in the Philippines, but I don't think that's your kind of audience, no?
Yeah, I mean, I think that I would love to be able to travel everywhere in the world and perform and do something creative. But I don't know. I really don't know what this next year will look like or the next 2 years. I have a direction, but I almost think of life as like a sailboat where you set your sail and you point it, but the wind will take you somewhere. And I've always been okay with that.
But how do you, for people to know, how do you make it, as far as where you've gone there in the US, how were you able to break in that industry? I guess age has something to do with it. It's a novelty that a very young person can get through that market, no?
Well, yeah. I mean, thank you for saying that. I just turned 33, but I look young.
Yes.
But I started when I was 21. Okay. And so I think that, like, as far as breaking through, it's something that you don't really have control of. I do think it takes a lot of resilience for when it's hard, you just kind of keep going. But because you're young, you're able to adjust more. No, unlike when you're older, you have more pride, and then it's harder to like change your repertoire or like tweak it a bit. Well, I also think like the younger you are, you have this delusional confidence. Just something bad happens
for you.
Yeah, you're like, I'll be fine. It'll work out.
Don't take it personally. That's true.
Yeah.
So, and then did you have that share of disappointments? Can you share to us? Did you ever feel like during the startup years, people would like feel ignored when you're younger, when you're a newbie in the business? How did you get through?
If you want to hear my share of disappointments, how much time do you have?
No, really. No. But there's something to learn about those things.
Yeah.
No?
Okay, so I mean, I think that let's see.
You want to know what the hardships that you had to go through? Because it was not served to you very easily.
So I was when I first moved to LA and I was figuring out, you move to LA, you think this is it. I'm going here because this is what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
And there were a lot of really great things that happened, but one after another, each thing, in my mind, I was so young in the business too that I thought, okay, when this thing happens, my life will change tomorrow. My career will be made. I'm going to buy my mom a house. I'm going to tour, I'll have 1 million fans and be a millionaire, all these things. But I had a show get picked up, a TV show by a production company and a studio. But then when it went to network, it got rejected one year. And then we went back out and pitched it again, and it got rejected again the second year when we were trying to go to network. And I was just, I was working so hard in stand up. I was working so hard in, pitching TV. I was auditioning, and I just felt like if this was the wall, I was always on the other side, and I couldn't break through. My life was good. I couldn't complain about it at all. But at that time, I think I got really burnt out, and I got depressed. I don't even know.
Just the best thing to like that. Well, a lot of people can identify with you there when you talk about burnout and being depressed. What's the best way to battle with it?
I think
it's doing something else, no?
There's 3 levels of it. I think having a community around you that you can talk to.
A support group, man.
We can't go through it alone. It's just impossible.
Yes, very good.
And then I think serving some purpose greater than yourself, whether you're spiritual or not. I think one of the quickest things to get you out of your own problems is service.
That's true.
When you're of service to somebody else, you start to some magical thing happens where you're not thinking
very
about.
Good, very good. And you talk about prayer a lot in your interviews, no? You pray a lot.
I am. And
I do too.
Yeah. And that's the thing is I talk about it but I never want people to feel alienated in the way of talking about it. Cause I grew up in the church until I was about 18. I left church for about 10 years and then found God again. And
that's good, no? So,
yeah.
How do you pray? Because it's not the form prayers that we learned from school anymore. No?
Our Father.
No. Well, it's still that, but then it's something more. It's more of a personal relationship with Him. No? So, so what do you do? What do you pray for? That's a nice interview. Huh?
I love it. I love these conversations, Noel. Getting into just life and it's like small talk and big talk at the same time.
No, but thank you. Well, for me, you talked about being grateful in some of your interviews, and that's a major thing for me. No, some people maintain great gratitude journals, even. No,
yes.
But at the end of the day, at the end of my day, when I'm about to sleep, my prayer is like, where did I see Christ or Jesus in my day?
Wow.
And then I would like to review my day, and if there's anything lacking, if I can't see God or Jesus in my day, I do a good deed before I sleep and then say thank you. That's my prayer.
Can I ask? I love that. Can I ask you? So today, right?
Yeah.
If you were to do that right now, where did you see Jesus? Christ,
I'm finding
God?
it in this conversation. This is such a good conversation. We don't normally have these conversations with people in the business. They're so cooped up with themselves, and they're making money, and then going to here in the industry. Well, I work in media now, no? So I handle stars. So the theater industry, the live acts are very, very alive. But one thing that's suffering still is the movies, cinema. People stop going to the theaters to watch films.
Right.
People are into streaming already. Do you have that? You also have that in the US.
Yeah, they call it phone movies. They'll say, oh, now we have phone movies. Everyone's watching the movie like this and everything. But on that note of everything you were saying about prayer, like when I was talking about that burnout, honestly, the way that I dealt with it was I reached a point where I had no other resources of my own control. but prayer
There's
and God,
someone bigger. That's someone bigger to like
yes.
guide us. No,
I surrendered to that, and then lo and behold, honestly, my life changed. I when I went through depression, I didn't feel like it was the end of my life. It felt like, oh, okay, well, there's always someone there that is picking me up and showing up in my life. And it really is, like you said, like, where is God in my day? Because before that, God was still there, but I didn't see it. And now that you're looking, like, I love
so
that.
humbling, no? It's really so humbling. That there's a greater being, bigger and more powerful than us. You just have to surrender. You said that.
And it's amazing because even in your day, if there's someone that you're annoyed with or is angering you, when you remember for a second, you step back like, oh, that if God created that person too.
Correct.
Where can I find this beauty in them? Even if it's like, that's your way of whatever. It's like, there's some good in it. Yeah.
And now we're talking. Well, because my exercise of goodness is that what if you were on the other person's shoes? You'd always say that you won't be quick to judge. You won't be quick to like react, because if you see goodness, and the basic goodness is in every person, so that's it. Now, parang you'll be more balanced, I guess, or you're more centered. So so at least there's a centering of God in our lives, and that's very important. And when you go back to why are you doing this again? For whom are you doing this? If it's not just for you, there's a bigger purpose. Well, you should be guided. It's less and less about you. When you grow older, we know that when you're mature, less and less about you and more making other people.
I went through 18 through 28, 18 years of age to 28 years of age, really just thinking it was all me. It was all me. I'm going to fit. I can do this. I did that. It's for me. What can I get for me? And then when it changed, a weight was lifted.
Ang sarap, no, JR? Ang sarap. Well, it feels better. You feel better when you parang no, it's no longer about, the world is not about me.
Yeah. No, well, this is such a energy giving conversation. This gives me life. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. And since you're talking about emotions, and what performers would always get from their emotions, I wanna go through your emotions and tell us when you felt the various emotions in your life the best. No, when are you happiest? When did you feel happy?
Oh yeah.
Can you be attuned to that, and let's say thank you world for making you happy. At what point do you feel happy?
I mean, when everything is aligned, like, for example, I heard this quote from a basketball coach. You'll have a good life if every day you do three things. It was, if you laugh every day, if you something inspires you and makes you think that day, and you do something that makes you feel to the point of tears. And I think when I look back on these days where I'm connecting with people, I'm doing something that I'm passionate about and, growing, and I have some stillness and connection with God. I think those are the best days. Like, honestly, like, if I'm being real, it might sound nerdy, but my favorite times are truly like at like the worship at a church when they're playing music, and I'm like doing this and everything. Like, music, I really,
and quiet music. Times. Do you like the quiet times?
I love it. I set a timer on my phone for a few minutes. I just sit down like this.
Yes. You're going older. You're maturing. Because when you're younger, get through that noise. But with all the noise, you look for that stillness, and then you're happy, no?
Yeah. My girlfriend says that I'm already a dad, but I don't have kids.
Pwede na yan. Parang your art is your kid now. You create, that's your legacy. Child. Yeah, that's part of your legacy. Second, when was the time you ever felt so competitive? And how did you deal with it?
I think growing up with two older brothers, I was
achievers.
I mean, everyone was talented. My older brother played basketball, so we were competitive in sports. My oldest brother was a really good dancer and singer, and I wasn't necessarily competitive in that way, but it was like we were always kind of doing our things and trying to be the best at them. And then as we got older, of course, we balanced out. But I think when I was a kid, I was very competitive because I was also really short growing up.
Okay.
Until 8th grade, I had a growth spurt. But so at that time, you know, you have that sort of like short man complex where you just like, I got to be the best. I got to,
you can talk about that in your comedy when you had when you felt like being short and then being compared to other people, and suddenly you had I suppose you were circumcised early, or were you saying
no?
Well,
I was never circumcised. Never. I was. I still have the hood. I still have the hood.
Because people are saying you'd grow taller when you're circumcised. so that can be a joke in your act in the Philippines. That you'll surpass your brothers when you get circumcised.
Yeah, that was my secret weapon. I didn't know that. That's a saying. You grow taller when you get circumcised.
Yes. And well, being circumcised is a major thing in the Philippines, so you can talk about that. Is there anything about being support? You heard of that, no? So no. What
is it? Support?
Support, yeah.
What's that translation?
For having the hood there in your thing. Yeah, it's a major thing here in the Philippines. It's a rite of passage.
Really?
So when you say that in the crowd, they'll roar.
Oh my gosh.
Well, this is such a brainstorming for your show already, huh?
I have idea. I'm writing it down on my phone.
Yeah. No, but there. Next. When you're sentimental, most sentimental, because we go through emotions, because those are your tools, no, in your performances. Yes. So when are you most sentimental?
I think when I'm with my friends, and then whenever there's a change of a chapter, like every birthday.
Yeah.
When I went from 32 to 33.
Yes.
Or when the new year changes, any holiday. I think whenever there's a transition and I can reflect on where I've been and where I'm at now.
Yes. And people say comedians may be laughing on the outside, and then inside they're so sentimental, or they're Is
emotional.
That with you also very emotional?
Yeah, I definitely. I would consider myself very in touch with my feelings.
That's good.
Yeah.
And you cannot share what you don't have, no? So you have to feel all those in order to share that very effectively to others. Well, honestly, to your feelings, no?
Yeah, I'm getting better at it as I grow up, and to especially as a man, you don't really share your feelings. And then I thankfully, my cousin is very open and vulnerable, and I have other role models in my life that are open and vulnerable that we have learned to just share. And I think it's just a way to connect, because we all have feelings, and it's easy to be ashamed for any feeling other than happiness.
It's true.
But I think we're starting to learn, it's normal, and that'll I think that's a good thing for men especially.
But it's a good exercise in psychology. No, you put a name, or you put the word for how you feel, and you know how to deal with it. No, so labeling it. Yeah, definitely. Because it's only when you put into words what you feel can you address those feelings. Last part. When do you feel most loved?
Wow, you're gonna make me cry, Noel.
No.
When do I feel the most loved?
Are you in that good place in your life now? I suppose.
I am. And so I want to really be thoughtful with it, because it's such a good question. I think I feel really loved when I feel seen and appreciated for more than just accomplishments or talent, anything. I think I love when I can be with the people who, whether I'm successful, whether I'm failing, whether I'm famous or no one knows me, rich, poor, I think those people who show up and listen and, hang out with you, laugh with you, no matter what, I think, and I'm really lucky to have friends and family that are like that.
And understand your core, no? There are always 5 things I tell people when you're with the right people. Number 1, when you're at your best, when you're with them, no? Number two, pag bumabait ka, when you become a better person when you're with them. Yeah. The third one, when you're closer to God because of them, with them. Fourth, when things, family, friends, work jive, they all jive because of them. Yeah. It's not like you and me against the world. Some people think, no. Parang when things align, those are the right people with you. And the last part, the fifth one, when you look great. Well, look at your pictures. The worst pictures are the ones when you have bad company, no? The worst pictures are the ones when you like feel like you're going through something.
You're drained and you look like a zombie because you're tired. Wow. Those are good. I need to write those down, Noel. Those are good.
Yeah, but it seems like you're in a good place now. Well, some wisdom about longevity in the business. What can you say about that? How do you keep going in here in this industry?
I think align with your values and make sure that your values are aligned with the right things. So I think because money is great, fame is great. Those things, I don't think they're pure bad, you know. But I think making sure your priorities are right, whether it's like before all that stuff, family, or before all of that stuff, self-care, whatever it is. I think that will help with longevity, because if it's everything like most things in life will fade, right? But there's these other things that are infinite that you can always reach into. Gratitude, service, connection, love. These are like infinite. And so if it's just money and it's just fame, that can run out. You don't really have control of it. So I think my advice is find where you can align your values with maybe these things that are infinite wells that you can always tap into while doing the thing that you love.
And people shoot this question to people who are like rising and who are prominent. How do you want people to remember you, JR? What impact do you want to have on people?
Giggle,
That's a nice word. You found that thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I want people to know that, like, I felt so deeply that they could feel so deeply, and that I think just to be able to, if there was any legacy I could leave or like touch like people's lives through what I do, I think it's to connect.
Yeah, it's true.
Because we all can feel really alone and go through our stress. But I think when we connect, it's like we're here, we're alive, we're in this, and So I know that comedy, it's not necessarily like I'm saving the world with one joke or anything. But I think it does.
It's a mirror of reality. It's just mirroring reality and finding what's fun, no? About reality. Yeah. And then, well, three things. When you're sana, when you say sana, your hopes towards, for yourself first. What are your hopes for yourself more after?
Like for my career?
For yourself first. Yeah. Later,
myself.
Yourself. Your being.
Simply just to have a family and to.
Yeah, nice. No, you're founded on those values. You cannot like tell your child to study when you're not done with school. So, it's good. It's good. I know mirroring already. That okay, you finish school. So you finish school. So have a family, raise them. Well, talk Filipino at home. Don't forget that you're Filipinos. So you see yourself settling down anytime soon?
My girlfriend and I have been together. It's our 2-year anniversary. Maybe in 3 years, we'd probably get married. If we go with the 5-year plan.
And probably like hurdle more tests in life, no? And that would be good. Then with a lot of prayer. Next, your hopes for your career and the artistic community.
I think my hopes for my career is to. I'd like to create the projects that I want to get done in this life. Like, comedy special.
Yeah.
I'd like to put out music, whether it's an album or something.
Yes.
I'd like to act in something. I'd like to write and create something, and maybe write a book. I want to like.
I was gonna say that. Well,
yeah.
I'm in that point when at a certain point you'd write a book. You want to leave that book, that legacy to the university and say people are studying me, not me, my craft, but my art. No, so that's well, and in here in the Philippines, we have very, very little references about local or Filipino comics. So it would be good to like write about your own experience and what you learned from it. No, so that's it.
There's two guys I would elect to really talk about the comedy scene in the Philippines is Red Olero and
and I think you're joining you. I think you're joining you during your show on the 3rd on June 3rd.
I have Red Olero and Ryan Puno.
Yes. Next. What about your hopes for our country?
Oh wow. I think the infrastructure. I think to have good leadership to like really solidify the country on a global scale.
Because we're so divided as a nation, no? You see, so do you ever talk about politics in your comedy?
I do. I try to do it in a way that's uniting.
That's true.
I don't know too much about politics and specifics. There's some comics who are really good at it.
Yeah. And if there's anything you do, that's a nice point, no? Well, use your comedy to unite people, no?
Yes.
So you say you have rainbow colors in your show. Because they're all divided into pinks and reds and all those colors. So it would be nice.
Definitely.
So and a corollary question about the nation. What is there to be proud about the Filipino, despite everything that we're going through?
Oh, so much. I mean, that was the other thing I was going to say. I would love the Philippines to be on the map, like globally, as far as like talent, food, culture, everything. And I think, my hopes for the people is really just to get, global recognition, like Korean, like K-pop, K-drama is getting really big. I really want people to see how talented Filipinos can be.
Yes. Thank you for like representing us really well in the stage, in the world stage. And can you invite the people who I know you're off for another appointment, but can you like invite our people, our countrymen to watch your show on the 3rd?
Yeah. All right. Mabuhay. Salamat. What's up, everybody? Thanks all the Filipinos who are listening, everyone in the Philippines, and thanks to Noel for this awesome interview. I'm coming to the homeland of the Philippines June 3rd to perform at the theater at Soler. And I'm bringing my good friends Red Olera and Ryan Puno, and I'm going to improvise some songs, throw in some of my own original comedy songs, and maybe some serious music too.
Very good.
And I hope you guys can make it.
We'll see you there. And we wish you and we pray for the best of whatever your life has in store. And thank you. And we'd like to thank you, JR, for making us proud as Filipinos. And we'll see you on the 3rd. Thank you, my friend, and congratulations. Yes.
Filipino community came out tonight. I don't know why they sent you guys all in the back. So you guys just got here late. All right, and how do you guys know each other? I'm just going around tonight. Oh, yeah. Oh, your husband ain't here right now. She's a cool mom tonight, yeah. Ooh, where are your kids, Chrissy? If you're afraid to have a mixed baby because of your mama, tell her mixed babies can be president. Just ask President Obama. Interracial baby, you can be the president. You're ready to sing and laugh with me this June 3rd at the Theater at Soler for my Later That Evening tour.
You can get your tickets at ticketworld.com.ph or at the box office at Solaire.
Mga Katipuneros, it's time to level up! Your talk variety program showcasing the best in media and other fields. As we feature the most loved personalities and the best practices of what we truly refer to as Magis. Together with multi-awarded multimedia guru Mr. Noel Ferrer, let's all level up every Friday from 3 to 6 p.m. here on Radyo Katipunan 87.9 FM.